When I go to church, I love when it's so quiet and I can just focus and get in my head and listen to the baptismal font raining down water and watch the cross and the light shine through the stained glass. And it's a beautiful moment. And then sometimes people come in and they're talking and they're laughing. And I remember sitting there recently listening to some older ladies talking about, oh my gosh, I had a new grandchild. Oh, you should see it. And this one, oh, it's just like their mother, whatever. And I was getting irritated. And I'm thinking to myself, can't you take this outside? Do you not see that there's the Lord of the tabernacle? And then I had to remind myself, I used to do the same thing. I used to talk in church. I still sometimes talk in church. I think I'm better. But when I look at those ladies, I get kicked by the Holy Spirit in loving me. Remind me that I once did the same thing. What about when you're driving down the road and someone cuts you off or isn't paying attention or just drives bad or gets that lane that you wanted or that parking spot, and then you really want to get upset? But then I want you to think about, didn't you sometimes used to do that in your youth? Haven't you ever made a mistake on the road? Maybe not that exact one, but one where you weren't either paying attention or you were distracted or you were selfish. So then I want you to say, Lord, forgive me for the times that I used to do that. Lord, forgive me for the times that I talked in church. Think about all those things that we get irritated at other people for doing. Why do people do that? I can't believe you went to that invalid wedding. You're not supposed to. I can't believe. I wouldn't go to someone's invalid wedding. I wouldn't go to a gay marriage. But maybe you did 20 years ago. We all learn things and we learn them at different rates. And we have a tendency of cutting ourselves slack, giving ourselves so much grace, and getting really upset at the other people. Now you may be thinking, well, I would never do that particular thing. Well, you know what? There are things you have done that need forgiveness. And so what I'd like to remind you of today in this hopefully short video is to focus on every time you see someone do something to you that you don't like, or just do something period that irritates you. First, say to yourself, Lord, I'm sorry for every time I did that to you in the past. I know I don't do it now, but forgive me. And then pray for the other people. I think sometimes when I'm sitting in adoration, Lord, why are all the other people not here? How do they not know you're right there, the King of the universe on the altar in the Eucharist? Why? And then he reminds me, well, Christina, it took you 50 years to remember that. Point taken. Why do other people not want to go to Sunday Mass? Why do people not want to go to daily Mass? Why do people not want to, Lord, let them do this, Lord? Why do they do that? Why does this couple want to divorce? Why did she have an affair? Why did you have an affair, Christine? Well, I went back. Well, they will too. My video today is to say, look at your life. Look for those places that anger you most about other people. And first, ask the Lord to remind you if you've done the same thing. And regardless, I've seen some people cut themselves slack on, well, I learned that lesson in 10 years. They're 40. They should know by now. Well, you know what? We're on different journeys. Shame on you. You want God to extend you grace, yet you're not so willing to extend it to others. And it will soften your heart. So this is 2 steps. Lord, forgive me for the times that I did what they did. Second step, Lord, let me pray for that person that they learn soon, that they see sooner than it took me. The idea of understanding God's truth about marriage and divorce took me many years. May my children, may my grandchildren know sooner than that. May the people I'm talking to now learn that at 20 or 18. Be gracious to one another. Look, when it comes to a sin, look first at yourself, then at the other. And when it comes to a blessing, look first at the other. Give it to them. Then give it to the self. It's actually the formula for my super couples. It's the formula to be a super anything, to be a super teacher, a super CEO, a super spouse, super Christian, Catholic. First, selflessly, when it's good, point to the other. When it's bad, point to the self. Now, before I hang up, there are a few of you who are so hard on yourself and you always only see your own flaws. That's time for another video. Some of you have to cut yourselves grace. That's not what I'm talking about this time. I'm talking about those of us who tend to just carelessly make judgments too quickly. I hope you stop doing it. I think I did. If I don't, I continue to try to stop doing it. What are your thoughts? I'm Dr. Christine Bacon. Thanks for watching Breakfast with Bacon, and I'd like to remind you always to live your life sunny side up.